Howdy, howdy, this is Crafty Grinding. It's time again to do some arena predictions as we have a new arena for Vision Arcus, and Captain America Infinity War makes his appearance once again in the arenas, this time in the 4-star basic arena, which this time is a little unique in terms of having a top tier type champ that isn't making his first rounds. I mean, we recently had Nick Fury, we recently had Captain Marvel. Those are, a lot of consider that those champs as top tier champs, and they've just recently come through the 4-star basic arena, but this that was their first time around. Captain America Infinity War, on the other hand, has been through the 4-star basic ringer a handful of times now, so this is kind of unique, and I'll get a little bit more into that uniqueness here shortly. But anyway, the first thing I always like to do is kind of figure out how I think these arenas will compare to past arenas, as then I can then take a look at those past arenas results and maybe get an idea of what might happen this time. As I always say with all my videos, there's no guarantees, though, as we look at past results, that this will specifically dictate or predict exactly what we can expect to happen this time around, as there's all kinds of different reasons why arena cutoffs fluctuate just a little bit. So keep that in mind as I go through my thoughts anyway for round one. But anyway, keeping that in mind, with the feature arenas, really there's two types: a new champ and an old champ, and obviously this is the new Vision. This is his first time in the arena, his first available in crystals, etc. So he definitely falls within that new champ kind of bracket. And again, coming back to Captain America Infinity War, typically when you have this type of champ that's been in the game for a while and has been in the arena a handful of times, you've got a new champ going on in the feature arenas. This type of champ, even if they're a good champ, even if it's a Sabretooth, even if it's a Mephisto, you name it, they're going to be kind of in that low interest, anywhere from 1.5 to 1.8 million. But when looking at Captain America Infinity War and looking at another example, and it's been a whole year, really, it's been over a year, when Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive were coming through as 4-star basics their first time around. Between them was Hyperion, and obviously Hyperion had been in the game he's kind of like a Captain America Infinity War is in this case, where he's been in the game for a while, he's been in the 4-star basic arena a handful of times, been available in crystals, but still his numbers were pushing higher than kind of that low interest, but at the same time not as high as those first timers coming into the 4-star basic arena. So with all that said, I think he's going to fall in that mid-interest kind of bracket. So now that I've got these arenas kind of bracket, at least in my opinion, on how to compare it to past arenas, let's take a look at some of those past arena results to get maybe an idea what to expect this time around. Sticking with Captain America, the 4-star basic arena, and other mid-interest type arenas, you can see here with Thing, Havoc, and Captain Marvel, and more recently Nick Fury, these numbers are anywhere 2.8 to 2.9. and Nick Fury was closer, I think, like 2.7 in the first round. But then you have somebody like Mr. Sinister, still a good champ, just not maybe to that same level as some of these other champs, coming in at 2.4 million. And I think really this is that's kind of that example I was given before. Proxima and Corvus were setting kind of higher numbers, and wedged in between them was still a great champ, had just been around for a while, was Hyperion. I think you're going to see that here with Captain America Infinity War. He's going to nudge down, not at that 2.9, 2.8, but closer to that 2.4, 2.5 number. But anyway, we'll get to my official prediction here shortly. Going back to kind of some past results, the 3-star feature, that's anywhere from 1.3 to 1.4. Those numbers don't seem to change too significantly, so there's no reason to think they will here. With the 4-star feature, there's definitely a little bit more variety for newer champs, where you go anywhere from 12.1, you see here with Night Monkey, Still Suit Spiky, easy for me to say, mouthful, Stealth Suit Spidey, or Spider-Man. Then you've got Mysterio, you've got Sunspot, and you got Warlock, who had kind of like that anomaly, but that was kind of like just a handful of folks kind of fell into that lower 9, but everything else was pushing closer to 11 million, which is kind of the standard that you see here. And then more recently with a Black Widow Clairvoyant, she came in at that 11.9 million. So that's kind of like, I think, really where we see that numbers going, anywhere from 11 to 12 million. Then with the 5-star feature arena, again, here you see there is some fluctuation for sure. You're going to see somebody have a kind of a goofball kind of cutoff like Invisible Woman at 32 million. She's definitely a better champ than that in the game. Just happens sometimes. Now where you see the Ebony Maw in the second round jump down to that kind of number, that's not a big surprise given how, you know, that champ is in the game today. But then you get into some of these other numbers, especially like Mysterio and Warlock, somewhere in the 50s. I think that's really the number you're going to see here with Vision Arcus. I think there's some hype for him, but maybe not to the same level that we saw for Black Widow Clairvoyant, who, as you may know, went into the 60 millions for her first round cutoff. So anyway, after looking at all these past arena results, here are my thoughts for round 1 cutoff predictions across these arenas, and these predictions are for the veterans bracket, meaning your account's been open for over 60 days. I think we're looking at 55 million for the 5-star Vision. I think we're looking at 11.5 for the 4-star Vision. I think we're looking at 2.4 million for the 4-star basic Captain America Infinity War, and then lastly I think we're looking at 1.3 million for the 3-star feature champ. So anyway, like I said at the beginning of this video, these cutoff predictions are based off of past results, and like even on Wall Street, they'll tell you past results are not indicative or guarantee future results. So with that in mind, I always kind of like to give a grind target, something that's going to put you a little bit more in the safer zone. And nothing is completely safe, to be clear, with these arenas. It's all kind of a crapshoot, but hopefully these numbers will help you a little bit anyway in terms of where you need to grind to. I think if you really want to make sure you don't miss out on the 5-star feature Vision, you want to go to 62 million. I think 12.1 million will make sure you get him as a 4-star. With Captain America Infinity War, I am going to give a little bit more leeway here, just because if his cutoff is closer to that of Thing, Havoc, etc., Captain Marvel, then you'll want to go to 3.1 million, maybe even, to make sure you get him. But again, I do think the cutoff is going to be closer to 2.4, 2.5. We just really haven't had an example of a top tier champ like Captain America Infinity War come through the 4-star basic arena again. It's been since that Hyperion example I give you a long time. Don't get me wrong, we've had good champs come through here recently who've been in the game for some time. I use Sabretooth as an example, but Sabretooth is not an Captain America Infinity War, and it's kind of interesting that he's become available now because of he's a useful champ to take down Domino in the recent Boss Rush arena. Once you have him duped, so maybe if you have him but don't have him duped, you need to get him duped so that he gets some of those synergy benefits from a number of champs, specifically Tech, Cosmic, and Mystic, that help you take down that Domino. But anyway, there's plenty of videos on that. Check them out if you're looking for help on that Boss Rush challenge. But anyway, that's why I do think 3 million, just to make sure, 3.1, to make sure you give yourself plenty of safety zone, safety buffer on that one. And then lastly, 1.4 million for the 3-star feature Vision. So these grind targets and predictions are for the veterans bracket, so older accounts of 61 day plus. For the newer accounts, if you're in the beginners or intermediate bracket, here are my thoughts on those. These are even rougher estimates because there's not 100% certainty on what those past cutoffs were, and there's always a lot of volatility, people moving across these different brackets. You move across these brackets based off of the age of your account. Beginner, as the name implies, is brand new accounts all the way up to 30 days. Intermediate is 31 to 60 days. So anyway, with all that said, 3-star feature for the beginner, I think we're looking at 245,000. 4-star basic, I think we're looking at 800,000. 4-star feature, I think we're looking at 1.3 million. The intermediate bracket, I think we're looking at 3-star feature around 500,000. 4-star basic, 1.2 million. And lastly, the 4-star feature, 1.4 million. So anyway, these are my thoughts for the new Vision, Arcus, and Captain America Infinity War arenas. Would love to hear your opinion, especially if it's different than mine. Would love to hear what folks think about this Captain America Infinity War kind of example, because like I said, it's a little bit of an oddity when it comes to the type of champs we've seen in the 4-star basic arena here of late. Again, I'm not saying we've had some really great champs come through, top tier champs come through, but it's really been their first time. The Captain America Infinity War, he's been in the 4-star basic arena even a handful of times already. He's been in the game for a while, so it'd be interesting to see where this one really ends up. But anyway, would love to hear your opinion. Throw it on down in the comment section. I'll check them out. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comment section as well. I'll try to get to them if possible. Other than that, if you find this information useful, we'd really appreciate it if you click thumbs up on this. Click that like button on this video, as it really helps out this video on the channel. And if you like this and other videos on the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, we'd really appreciate it if you did. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.